still at least 2 more matches ahead of us because it is now 1-1. And we go to Mirage. It's going to be, this is going to be very interesting. Again, CLG will have side choice. That should put them on this map on the CT. And again, Liquid, they elected to start T-side last time and definitely took the fight directly to them. 11-4 at halftime for Liquid that time.
Well, the first time we saw these guys match up, it has to be said, Liquid looked very scared and static. They weren't sure what to do. Today, they're coming with a completely different mentality. Very aggressive, very loose. And it's the partnership of Nitro and Elite that seems to be carrying them as well. We actually talked about this off air, Matt. We said Hiko, the star player, doesn't really have to do too much because these guys are actually just getting in there, getting all the entry kills for him. He's holding favorable flanks and lurking across the map, and that's working out perfectly for them. And I think starting Terrorist once again, although it's a map that you haven't got the same freedom as Dust 2, it's one where you'll be heavily contended more towards certain choke points. But if they can keep this sort of mentality up of getting the T's into the bomb sites and getting off just basic smokes into the site, I think it's going to be very difficult for CLG to hold it off. There has to be said as well, Adren finally arriving, for me at least. He seems like he can actually challenge JDM in certain situations and actually getting more than one pick at a time. So it's good to see him stepping up, and I'd like to see Liquid take this. I'm actually really enjoying the way they're playing tonight. It's actually very entertaining. It's
refreshing after what we've seen from them, to be honest. Even against last night against Method, there was some close. The first one was fairly good. The second one was fairly close, and Silent stepped up, so did Toy. But it still was concerning just knowing the different caliber of where we are against CLG. Had my doubts coming into this. Well, they've silenced me so far. Again, and to go back, someone did tweet saying that, in fact, CLG did win both first pistols on the first map. Yeah. Meaning the gun rounds have been definitely in the favor of Team Liquid throughout the evening.
Well, here we go then. Team Liquid on the T side of Mirage. Obviously, this is 1-1. It's a best of 5. So an important one to take here. Once again, Liquid getting 2 utility players here. It's going to be Hiko and Adren. Actually make it 3. So you would assume it's going to be a proper full A execute with the smoke grenades here. 4 players going towards our bomb site. CT's yet to show any real aggression here, playing quite a passive setup. Hayes facing towards middle is going to be Cutler towards CT spawn. He's going to have his work cut out. As the smokes should come over very soon here. You'd assume flashbangs coming in and then the execution to the site.
Yeah, and the smokes will land perfectly in front of jungle and on top of the stairwell. So Cutler will be the only one with vision, and I imagine I want to take it back. They don't have anything for it. I thought a flash at least would come toward him. He's not, but he can't take the fight. He won't go solo. Bomb! Why is it going on the other side of the smoke? That's a misplay right now from Liquid because they have to try and re-grab this, and that means putting a fight against FNS. He's going to fall back away from it. They may have bailed themselves out right now, but they lost more men than they should have in having the bomb toward jungle. That should have been in the site. More so because, as I mentioned, Cutler was falling away from it, and FNS will now find Hiko. They've got to rotate this. This is not what was planned, but Fugly's made it to be on the back of a mid-round call and some disorganization. It also means he's low on HP, and JDM's close enough to make this problematic. I'm not sure if Fugly's even going to know he's there. He does. He takes the peek out toward him, and neither land a shot, but this all means CLG's also getting closer on the rotations, and everyone's down. They're gone. That could have been so much cleaner from Liquid.
Yeah, a little bit of a tactical blunder there, it has to be said. Like what we saw Cutler, not really getting anything thrown in his way. He had a full vision of what the T's were doing. I guess the idea was go towards the jungle side of the map and then wait for the CTs to push through the smoke and try and get some easy frags out there. But like you said, bomb going down, a horrible position, really did ruin that whole setup, and they were forced to rotate towards B. Fugly doing well to get the bomb down in the situation, it has to be said. But the round does go towards CLG, and it's another pistol on the board for them. You can see that the Terrorist team won't be forcing into this. AK is next round for them, so that's interesting. And looking at the CT part as well, Nova coming out for Hayes, 27 on finesse, and JDM opens it up.
Hitting Nitro through the edge of that smoke before he could back himself around the corner, waiting for the team flash to try and deter JDM from hitting that exact shot. And now the bomb again will go down. This time, it was planned. They were trying to work it inside the B site, and Tarek just happened to be there waiting for them on catwalk. Boost coming in. JDM, he's aware of it. He jumped, spotted it as well with the scout, hits the shot on Adren when he does make it through, and he goes on low HP. Too much against this in terms of the force spy from Liquid. Okay, well, Fugly does end up getting JDM as he missed his second attempt. Liked him on the first, but Hayes closing it out. 2-0 CLG. But that early plant is going to be enough to force them, and this is a very aggressive force. We talked about Liquid getting a great start on the last map. This could throw the complete opposite into effect if they lose this early buy.
It's going to come down to what CLG do to counter this. They know the AKs are coming. They haven't shown any mid-aggression here. And 4 Terrorist members going towards A. It looks like a pretty fast execute coming in for them. Hayes will be going back towards middle. It's pretty much exactly what happened on the pistol. Same setup for them. 2 players going towards Palace. Bomb is going to be there on Nitro as well. So looks like they're going to go for a simple fast play here. Great nade though from the CTs, does considerable damage.
Shot JDM as well with the scout to take down Nitro. That's normally the entry man, so it'll fall on Elige this time instead. He's going to try and come over and get Hayes, does so. Fugly finding finesse as well. Means that Liquid's found the entries they need to at least get a bomb plant down, but they aren't still doing it as Tarek and JDM will fight back, and we're into a 2 versus 2. Tarek will swap over to the AK-47 as well. And although there is one smoke deployed toward jungle, it does give him a gap, Tarek, but they've fallen away from those positions. And Adren's behind Firebox. It'll be interesting to see, and they do. They guess that he's there. It's planted for him. They'll use fire in exactly the position it's named after to force him away from it. And it falls on Hiko's shoulders to clutch this out. He nails the first shot against JDM, down to the one-on-one. Tarek knows he's here, has to take the fight, and it's the clutch master versus the accuracy man, and Tarek prevails. It will be the defuse.
What a round that was. So back and forth with there. And CLG, they take the third round. That's such a huge one to win as well. When you're on the back foot, had a scout, some MP7s as well. And Liquid do get the bomb down, but it's going to come down to CLG clutching a one-on-one situation. This is where they can gather momentum now, because looking towards Liquid's money, they can really justify Tech 9s or some smoke grenades. So the A play, they got the smokes down once again, and looks like they will be doing a very similar strategy going into this one. They have purchased 4 smokes, 2 flashbangs again. So presumably just a play to get the bomb down this time. They have got some head armor on Fugly though, so pretty much a similar setup we've seen in the last couple of rounds. Smokes drop. Flashbangs go in. Maybe be able to get a plant this time.
Hayes may just push through them as well, and he has, because he knows he's got rifle against pistols. But he won't fully expose. He'll just focus Palace, leave the ramp to Cutler's position as he's on top of the ticket booth. And each will watch the other, but he hears them like a herd of elephants going beyond, and Hayes gets confused as to where to look. That allows Elige again for the second straight round to win that duel, and much like last time, Fugly complements it with a kill, but everything after goes the way of CLG. Cutler with 2, Tarek as well. Tarek will close it out with the third onto Hiko. A defuse comes in, but a plant for Liquid will start to help revitalize what's been lost, and they'll have more than enough money to bring out, even if they wanted to, a T-side AWP. Now, that's not common for Liquid.
Well, here we go then. So far from Liquid, all we've seen is these set A plays with the smokes. I'd prefer them to be a little bit looser now. That's when they were being their best. But
they're thinking about it. Yep, there it is. Adren went for it.
The AWP from Adren. So he has been pretty good with it tonight, it has to be said. See what he can bring to the table. JDM obviously will be picking up as well, one as well. Adren just waiting for that CT aggression though. This is probably the perfect round for all the CTs to go aggressive. So a decent call from them, but will be waiting for a lot, I'm afraid.
Finesse. Tasked with the honor of holding Catwalk, try and control the aggression toward that mid position. It can be such a huge position as well to shut out the players that try and work from connector if there's an A approach. He covers for Hayes. Hayes covers in the site. JDM just makes sure no one comes down from the top of middle. Nate gonna go in though. Hayes taking a little bit of damage from that. And JDM's not peeking through that window right now because there is still a smoke deployed on it, so that means he couldn't spot the man, Elige, that was getting desperately close to Hayes' position. JDM still forced away from being able to peek. That allows Hayes, though, to get Elige on Catwalk. That is one man down, but they're still grouping on these B apartments. Finesse has rotated back down the Catwalk now to support Tarek, and he's just waiting right now. Fire out, it will cut them off in between, but they're going to go right through it, having got that kill. Fugly follows it up with another on Finesse. Beautiful entry, again from Liquid, but JDM in the window drops Nitro with bomb. Luckily, Hiko jumps immediately on top of it, and will get the plant into place. Further smokes and utilities deployed to hold out CLG's retake from the kitchen right now, but eventually they try, and Adren hits one, walls up the other through the back of that as well. So Cutler got tagged down to 20 as a result, and that may be enough to discourage CLG. In fact, it is. They're gone.
Yeah, it seemed like around Liquid are actually out of the game, losing that opening frag, but their entrance to the B-bomb site was good, taking down one of the key players and getting in there, and it just came down to Adren's AWP, like you said, getting the collateral shot through the other player and legging Cutler as well, made the decision to actually save their rifles. So JDM does save the AWP, but Liquid finally enter this game. And what a round to do it on as well. So although they have looked, they're going back to that kind of static gameplay here. It seems like the game plan isn't really there if they don't go for that set play onto A. Let's see how they approach this one. I'd like them to have more mid control, get the presence there, the smoke off window, challenge connector, and get up towards short. And that's what I'd prefer them to be doing here instead of just holding back and waiting for CTs to push them. So now this is a good round for them to actually get into. 2 pharmacies being presented. The CTs, once again, not showing too much, but Hayes going into connector and actually will be facing. This is better from Liquid, but I like this. This is the mid control we talked about.
That was a risky play, and that came off the call, though, from JDM to take that peek with a nade out. Tarek, good push on Catwalk, because Hayes had already spotted that there was a smoke on Catwalk, so therefore throwing the nade into it rather than jiggle peeking with the AWP. There was less risk. Cutler does massive damage on Fugly, who works his way onto Tetris, and he'll push forward, but Hiko saves his teammate big time with a headshot coming out from Palace. It's now up to JDM, but the damage is stacking against Liquid right now. 33 is their highest player. That's a Dren. Bomb down as Hiko gets caught in the sandwich. And JDM, can he do more here with this AWP? Very close position, but still has Tarek as well, and the utilities have been depleted from Liquid. They've got to try and walk in and recover a bomb almost naked. The last flashbang goes out, and JDM knows what they're up to. He knew where that was dropped. All he had to do was watch it, and he does all of the work to make sure they secure what is now their 5th round.
Yeah, difficult round for Liquid to win towards the end. There's so much damage inflicted and put them into stifle positions there. JDM taking advantage of that, and some big AWP play for him. That would have been a round that broke the CT economy as well, so that's pretty massive. This is obviously another big round as well. Looking at towards the T-money, they're going to be pretty low after this. You can see Nitro is going to be on the Tech 9, and that's another round in favour of CLG. So actually 2 players in Tech 9 here, Leeds and Nitro. They've been the key players on the last map at least. And now Dren leading the charge towards B. He's actually going for some early faces here. Tarek does spot him. He's going to be blind though. It's going to come down to these entry frags once again. They managed to do it last time. Will they be able to prevail on this push?
Tarek's trying to hold them off as well as they try and march in together. JDM beats him to it though by getting that kill, and Tarek's still alive in this smoke, but can't do much inside of it. In fact, the only vision we have is from our side camera right now, which shows JDM trying to come back down Catwalk. Eventually, Tarek, who was overlooked and staying alive there, does come out and pick up a double, but it gets to a one-on-one, and it's a bit surprising that it does so, and Hiko's going to pull it off. As the bomb, well, forget it. Doesn't even need, unless Hiko wants the extra money. But 5-2 now our score.
It's a pretty scrappy rounds going backwards and forwards, like a big one-on-one clutch there. Hiko stepping up, some great AK headshots to finish it off, and it seems like someone has crashed in this round, so we will be taking a little bit of a pause. It has been pretty hectic.
I think it's a Dren that may have gone. It's either a Dren or a Liege. I didn't catch it in time.
No.
It's a Dren.
At least it didn't affect the round too much. Liquid do pick that one up, and it's actually going to force the CLG onto an eco here by the looks of things. You can see $2,000 across the board, but Liquid definitely relying on some the big AK plays again, going to the bomb sites. Not too much of an execution, just going through, pushing through smokes, and Tarek almost shut them down. 2 frags for him. They managed to win out the one-on-one situation. Can we get a match medic? So
I don't know why. I mean, they won the round. He lost gun. I'm confused as why you need a match medic. They ultimately won the round. I mean, if you're match medicing, it would mean go back to the start of the last round, where in which they potentially throw away a win. So all they can really do is bring him back in, and he'll re-get his money. But
interesting enough, while we're looking at this, CLG may force into this and see Cutler buying a scout. Well, there is a match medic, so
I'm still confused as to why they needed to do that. Like, reset money, everyone's gonna have to rebuy regardless.
The CTs will be going for this one. Cutler spending,
unless he didn't get his money when I came in and I missed that. Either way,
Cutler spending all his cash here on the scout. The CTs do want this one. It'll be an interesting round nonetheless. You can see JDM Finesse getting CZs, and Armour he'll be investing all his cash. And this is probably a round we'll see the push up middle with the pistols and the scout trying to cover them, doing some damage. That's what I'd assume would be going on. But now we're just waiting for Hiko as he's in the toilet, I think.
He is.
So
he's taken advantage of this.
Why not?
Maybe that's why he clutched so quickly.
He was so excited.
I just got to go to the bathroom, guys. Just give me a second here to just finish this round really quickly. Adren, crash for me, and I'll be back.
So CLG do pick up the first 4 rounds. Pistol converted pretty cleanly. The first 4 spy from the T. CLG hold on strong with the scouts and an SMG as well. So that was a huge round. But Liquid definitely fighting back now. 2 on the board. And it seems like we are ready to go back into this. Round number 8 now. Like I said, CTs will be buying up. And will this be a sensible decision? I'm not so sure. But considering the T money as well, it's going to be pretty low. Elige and Nitro definitely is going to be on Khalil's here. Maybe some Tech 9s for them. Actually, a Mac 10. So Elige going to be playing that recon player. And we have Nitro getting the Khalil. So here we go then. Into round number 8. Like I said, the CTs purchasing pretty heavily into this. JDM will be keeping his money strong. Obviously the AWP player. And once again, 4 players towards A for Liquid. We've seen him do this a couple of times. Actually, it's going to be all 5 players committed. So the CTs have stacked this area correctly as well. This could be a high confrontation round. Let's see how the T's decide to enter it. Not going to do any nades here, just facing from Palace straight away, and here we go.
Again, close with the pistol, able to find one. That's without the help of the scout, which is still in play, but the 2 kills come back. Liquid getting Hiko. Nitro now with 2 to get inside the site. Finesse still making things interesting, and now the scout will make things happen as it catches Elige. It's down to a 1-on-2. And Liquid will hold on. Again, it's Hiko to finish it off with the last kill. 3 rounds now for them on the T side. Liquid just enough to claw their way back in. That force buy will also mean that it's going to have to be... Well, they're actually going to force again with pistols, but a double save essentially for Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, it was an interesting one for them, and they actually guessed the stack correctly, not winning the round. Came down to a 2-on-1. Cutler in an interesting position with a jump shouting scout potential. Now you can see the CT's pushing up middle, trying to go for that early frag. Not going to find much though. T's well aware as to what's going on. Fugly is holding that deep position towards mid, and he will spot a CT that I think he just saw a pixel maybe. Fragging coming at Elige, taking down Hazed.
Again, Elige to start things off. He is having an absolutely outstanding night. We talk time and time again about Nitro's need to find entries, but when Elige is also on, look at how much damage and how much effect it can have, because Liquid have definitely looked the better team with the guns out this evening. It is 1-1, keep in mind, but more convincing the victory for Liquid than that of CLG's. Bouncing the Molotov in underneath of Shadow. Hiko just checking all options before they walk in, and this is great for Nitro, who just waits for the flank to come through. It's JDM that walks into it. Bit of an awkward moment for Nitro. He's usually a little bit more swift than that, but Hiko will close yet again. 3rd straight round, he's got the final kill in, and the 4th now for Liquid.
Yep, 3 rounds in a row for them. They're looking much stronger here compared to the first opening 4 rounds. So JDM does pick up the AWP once again. You can see the CTs are struggling for cash a little bit. Only 1 kit on the AWP player, JDM. It'll be interesting to see whether they go for some more mid-aggression here or actually keep it passive. Seems like they will be doing the latter because JDM going towards mid by himself. And once again, most stack going towards the A site for the T players here. Just holding up, seeing what's going on. I'm going to be slowing play right down here, but Hazed is pushing into the lower ramp. Getting that advantageous position. Maybe he'll be flashed in.
He used that position last night to good effect against Luminosity as well. For whatever reason, Hazed just seems to be so sneaky and make things work. Again, they don't check the corner. It seems like an obvious spot, but when it's Hazed there, he always picks up kills. He's got Harry Potter's cloak of conceal or whatever they call it, I guess, because he just gets in and out just like that. 2 kills, bomb down, and although he's on 12 HP, that's more than enough damage dealt to make this round very, very likely to go CLG's direction.
Well then, 5-on-3 situation. T's are going to be getting the bomb back, but the damage has been done, it has to be said. But look at Fugly, he's actually managed to get into the bomb site undetected. CT's aren't going to be aware. He should take down Finesse here. Doesn't happen. Finesse answers back, and now we go into the 4-on-1 situation as Nitro drops as well.
Good spot from Tarek to hit that shot. I'm going to get called out by Harry Potter fans for not knowing.
I was going to say, that sounds like the wrong name.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to go with the reference, Matt, you need to know the names. That is important.
Man, it came to my mind. It was too late. I committed. I will own it. Either way, it's 6-4 now for Counter Logic Gaming.
Well, here we go then. So that all came down to Hazed. Obviously, a difficult round for them in terms of the money, but he pushes into the lower ramp there. And of course, you can see Elige realizes he hadn't checked that position as he ran past there, but it's too late. He takes down Adren as well. Bomb gets spotted, and that's a big round to win. You can see Elige will be onto the Tech 9 as well. Smoke coming down once again in the middle, but this time much more B favored this time. The bomb going up towards B opponent. He could be pushing through the smoke. CT's waiting for him though. Finesse in that close position.
He gets undetected as well, and letting one go. It may go further than that because Hiko walks in expecting it to be checked, and Liquid, though, they answer right back. Fugly finds Vanessa again in that corner, and Elige with the jump shot with the Tech 9, showing off a little flare. Picking up an M4 now as well, but caught by Cutler, who is holding that angle, expecting him to be there. And that means it's now a disadvantage for Liquid, who have to hold on to this post plant, make it even more so. It's Adren, 1-on-3, falling off the balcony. He wants to take the fight, and Cutler's going to win that duel as well. It'll be Counter Logic Gaming with 2 in a row, back-to-back, and 7-4 our total score.
So some nice entry kills there from Liquid. The jumping Tech 9 stood out quite a lot.
I think even Elige was surprised by it. He said LOL in chat.
Really clever play from Cutler as well. He's expecting that kitchen push to come in, covering his teammate JDM. Had that kill not gone their way, it would have been absolutely detrimental. So hats off to him. Very clever and good awareness from him. So now that actually gives CLG some time to build up some bank here. It has been a difficult game for them the last few rounds. It's going to push Liquid onto pretty much a full eco here. Fugly has got some body armor as well. JDM holding towards middle. That smoke coming towards B and mid once again. But all the players looking like they're going for the full-on rush. They know they can get the entries here, so trying it once again.
go onto this B site. Finesse has to turn himself around and get back toward it. He's holding it on his own at this point in time, and they've made it in. Bomb's going to get planted, but Finesse takes down Elise. There's a chance he could try and push onto Adren before he completes the plant. Not going to happen. Still gives him a good position to take down the kill post, but Fugly drops on top of him. And the shot is there from the pistol. Follow that up with Nitro getting hazed. Can't recover the gun and will go down to Cutler in the end, who now turns his attention back to Hiko. But again, Fugly will follow it up on JDM. Tarek walks into a trap, but he still manages to pull off the shot. In fact, saved by Cutler in doing so. But Cutler has since dissolved, and it's the defuse. No, the smoke not enough to conceal Tarek. Hiko holds on again for the clutch, and it will be 7-5.
So the B rush with the Tech-9s worked out for them. This is actually getting a little bit interesting because CLG aren't investing any players until at the start of the round. They're going towards the short area and working on the retakes there. But once the bomb goes down, it's a very difficult situation there, especially when you're trying to come in from different angles. You haven't really got the numbers stacked in your favor. And once they picked up the M4s, it was a very difficult situation. Hiko definitely in the advantage as well, up in the B apartments, waiting for that one-on-one situation. Smoke got deployed, but no HP to play with. So now it does bounce back. JDM still does have the AWP, trying to rail through the smoke there as Hayes pushed up middle.
Oh, huge damage as they push further again, and Trem was caught with the nade out. They're going to try and work through underpass, and that's shut down as well. Mid pressure, and it pays off for CLG. Everything going against them. Well, they've answered it. 8-5. We still have a chance to split this half, and Liquid, if they can get to 6, it might be much like Cash. It's similar in the numbers that you need on the T side, where it could be enough, but they'll need the pistol to follow that up.
Well, they did lose a pistol in this game, and once again, there's just the rifle rounds playing in their favor. There actually has been a lot of Tech-9 plays going towards B. That seems to have been finding most of the favor towards them, but Hayes, once again, picking up 2 frags. He's been very important in clawing these rounds back, but they're definitely a disadvantage. We saw him going to low round before. This time, pushing up middle, taking the risk, going up by himself. It's normally not recommended to go up by yourself. You normally have to have 2 men to bounce off each other, flash you up, but he took the risk and locked them down. And then the reaction came in from underpass from the T's, and then the crossfires ensued, and it all fell apart for Liquid there. So they will be forced onto Tech-9s this round before we go into round number 15. So presumably, this is another round going in favor of CLG, but we saw how the Tech-9s did go down before towards that B-bomb site. And it looks like the Liquid are coming in. And Hayes takes down Fugly with the airstrike in the middle with the help of JDM.
Yep, so I add the advantage to CLG further that up as damage continues to rain down on top of them in middle, and Hiko's got to go through that fire, which puts him so low that he'll do nothing against Hayes. So CLG looking flawless in this round. Just Elise to go, and an aid that already fell onto him puts him on 8 HP. They've spammed into that smoke. They haven't spotted him just yet. They may overlook it. Finesse with his back turned. Could get caught up by that, but he sees him coming. Completes the reload, walks back out. And they'll hit 9, but can Liquid hit 6? That's the big thing for me. I'm not 100% sure that against CLG, 5 will be enough.
Well, some of the rounds they've been getting, it hasn't been down to their tactical approach of being able to work out what the CTs are doing. It's kind of just bundling into a site and hoping they get the first kill there. They haven't really impressed me in terms of their approach to dissecting the CTs here, but here we go, going to round number 15. I'd like to see something a little bit more tactical from Liquid, but once again, 4 players heading towards the B side of the map. We have got Hiko lurking towards Palace here, so he's trying to see whether there's any CT aggression coming in. He's going very slowly once again. It's kind of the static gameplay. He's losing them maps before. They looked so much more confident on Dust too, but slowing it right down this time. Both teams very passive.
Timid, I think is an appropriate word. JDM does have his AWP in play.
Look where he is though. He's in underpass actually. He's actually pushed out of the window. Did have a little cheeky spot there, but just bouncing between mid and underpass. This is quite audacious play from him.
He's given up the attention toward the top of middle and peeking it as well with no one there to support from Catwalk. Usually you would see FNS to be there with the aggressive peek so that they would have to at least cross by him to hit JDM, but he's not. So that's just JDM being manly about it. Hayes will get the opening pick yet again. That's against Delige. That's only 1 spotted on A. Smoke out in the front of Palace, and Hayes will put himself in front of that doorway as well now. So things are going to get harder for Liquid when they do try and enter. Fugly's coming back over to B to help out in doing so. Didn't really do much to force rotations or fake it, but Nitro again on the way through will find an opening pick. It's traded, and equally so did Hiko's kill, but Hiko follows up on JDM. So this now gives the situation back to 2 versus 2 after that early pick went the way of CLG. It's all been deadlock, and Hiko's got smoke to plant this bomb, so we will see a post-plant situation. Fugly's gone all the way back as well onto the A-main stairs. Doesn't even need to show himself so long as Hiko can survive the initial fight, and the shot against Finesse on the repeat is successful. Tries to do the same against Tarek, puts him on 41, and that might just be enough for Fugly to walk out and close it. 9-6. Although CLG get away with it, Liquid fight themselves back into the half.
That was really interesting the way Hayes actually died there. He actually typed in chat. I wanted to point it out. Hiko went to go throw a Molotov into Shadow and actually bounced off Hiko's Hayes' body, landed on the balcony. And when the gunshots went through, he actually died because of the missed throw there. So that's kind of a funny way for it to go down. But like he said, 9-6, big plays from Hiko, getting some early frags there. And as to be said, they didn't look as confident on that T side. But getting up 6 frags out of pistol, definitely still more than doable here. But CLG do go onto the T side now. Obviously, the pistol is going to play a massive factor. Before on Cash, they did win both pistol rounds and took the win that way. So they did a very simple B rush as well on that T side. I wouldn't be surprised they did a similar play going into the second half now. Let's analyse their buy and see where we can try and guess where they may be going.
Well, depends on what they bring out.
So here we go. 3 sets of armor so far. 1 smoke onto Cutler.
Is that going to be the B rush then? Is that what we're in for? And it looks as though coming out of spawn, that's exactly what it's going to be.
Yep, so 1 player heading towards middle as we Tarek, working on the flanks.
And that smoke's already deployed close on Catwalk, which lets Tarek try and come out and figure out what's going on in the mid position, try and deter rotations, get information, and allow his team to rush in faster. They've slowed this down since, though, and there's no flashes to go over the top, so it's just a matter of timing before they go. And now they will. Fugly caught in the corner, spotted before he could get there, so Haste has the shot. Does take damage in the end, though, coming back in from Elige, who's down to 2 HP inside mid, but Nitro, it's a team kill, actually, from JDM on Cutler. He got the assist, though, Nitro, but eventually will go down to Hayes. That was the intended target. Now things get awkward for Liquid because everyone on the retakes is losing health and numbers, and before Tarek even gets on the flank, Finesse finds Hiko. I said Liquid might just need that second pistol. It's the exact same story as Cash now.
Absolutely. So they had Tarek at the top of mid, just gathering information, seeing what the CTs were aggressive there. And they didn't go for the straight up B rush. They wanted to see how the CTs were holding it. A lot of CT teams will throw a smoke at the very start of the round and take that grey screen towards the Ts. But they waited up. Still there was no smoke coming in. Spotted a player actually towards the end of the balcony. Isolated him, took him down, got the bomb down. Tarek coming in and pincering as well. So good, clean round from CLG. Liquid do force buy into this one. Adren obviously trying to make sure he has the AWP going into the first gun round, so he won't be buying anything. But the rest of the guys, P250s and 5.7s and a CZ and head armor as well. No utility really to play with. First kill does come in. Tarek takes down Fugly to open it up. Cutler gets one to the right.
Need to find a way.
Wow.
If they can pick up an eco desperately. It won't be this one, as we can already see, and where they forced into it. I imagine it's not going to be the next either. They're going to have to sit tight a little bit here, and it will go to 12-6. Remember, Cash went to 12-6, and they lost the first gun run, yet still pulled it back. Momentum went their way. I'm not 100% convinced that their CT side on Mirage is as good as what it is on Cash.
So we have another pause now.
And this is a timeout called, so this is a Liquid tactical timeout.
Yes, you're right. So they're trying to work out how they approach it. Obviously, force bought into that one, and like I said, Adren keeping his money pretty in good shape. He didn't buy anything at all, so he got 3,400. He will be at the AWP next round, but quiet game for him so far. 5 for 15. The T's actually getting MP7s and 3 rifles. Would actually be, in this situation, is perfect. They can send those guys in first, clear out the real close angles. They're jumping, bouncing around with the SMGs, and then the rifles can cover them as the bomb goes down. So far, so good for CLG. It's going to be the next round is going to be important. Obviously, we saw them do the first straight up B rush on the first round. Well, first gun round of Cash worked out very well for them. Here we go. Looks like we're getting back into this one now. And you would assume this round heavily favouring CLG going to this round number 18.
You would assume so.
Now you can see something a little bit interesting coming up.
I understand taking the timeout, so I think after the game we can have this conversation about when a timeout should happen. Should it be going into a gun round or on an eco, so you have more time to process the thought? We can get to that later, because this case, where they're not even forcing, what are they calling? I guess it's this aggression in mid, because it pays off. They take down Cutler. I expected they might actually be talking about what to do in the next gun round when things do stabilize, not to get too far behind themselves early on, but Tarek coming into the site will find Fugly. That aggression's going to rotate, though, and And that means they'll be on catwalk quickly, so very smart Molotov by Tarek, who's now just absolutely tearing them apart. He's cut off this rotation, bomb's going to go down, and they do have the two-man advantage.
Well, should be pretty simple clear up here. We can see Elise has got the Galil. It was a nice attempt to get a couple of kills there. It's only going to get Cutler that's isolated. And they will be looking for one more frag here. We know they've got to get guns next round anyway, so anything they can find will be helpful. Not going to happen this time. Only Cutler going down. As we go now into the first gun round, let's see how this one is approached, because, like I said, Adren didn't buy too much into this. He will be getting the AWP. Not going to have much in terms of utility, but he's going to be pivotal going into this first gun round here. Need him to be on form. I assume he'll just be going towards window and just playing it pretty standard to kick things off. That's JDM picking up that AWP as well. He'll be going towards B for that first pick. No aggression from the CTs really. Then trying to fire off some shots through the smoke. 4 players invested towards the B apartments here for CLG.
Fugly's getting aggressive inside that smoke as well. He needs to be very careful about his next move. Re-smoking it, not a bad one, but that indicates that he is waiting all the while in this position, and CLG will grit their teeth at that and try and flash through. That flash comes up light, though. It actually caught the edge of the doorway. They weren't aware of that, so Fugly gets 2 for free. He'll now fall back inside the bomb site. Nitro, who tries to resume the duties on top of the van, gets caught for it, but they still have the man advantage right now. Team Liquid. And Fugly's going to try and calculate himself to get down the bomb carrier. FNS does so accordingly, and it's now just left to JDM. So, first gun round. I take that back. We do still have Cutler, but it's still the man advantage. The Dren will take down JDM for Liquid, and bomb secured. But finally, we might have a first gun round going Team Liquid's way. This will give them more of a chance than what they had potentially on cash to bring things back before it's too late.
Interesting enough, Fugly actually tied that round. I can't even fire off a shot with this gun.
I did see that.
And then he comes back with a 3-man. Really well played. Didn't really come down to his aim there. It's a really smart positioning.
Mind
and re-smoking after the terrorists, forcing him to come through. Didn't get flashed by what they threw to him, and then nice movement as well. So Fugly definitely the MVP of that round, but the T's have more than enough cash to buy into this one. So let's see, AWP going back to JDM. They did really heavily invest towards a B apartment side. They didn't have to look how much time they had left. They had a minute remaining. They didn't have to force through that smoke whatsoever, but obviously had something in mind.
To be fair about the ping statement, Fugly's playing in mid-80s. Everyone on CLG is playing in mid-60s. Whereas the rest of Liquid are much below that. So take your battle on which you think is the better advantage. Adren's going to take down JDM again, so winning that battle for Adren is also going to get aggressive. Spotted just through the edge of the arch connector, though, allows him forward momentum for Hayes, but that's shut down by Nitro in the end. So Cutler has to fall back and readdress the situation at middle because there's nowhere for him to go forward, and that means he just needs to make sure he stays alive from the back. As Tarek gets to Tetris, but finesse dropped and bomb down. Tarek needs to be very careful. Cutler does get back in. Eco responds. If Cutler could have picked up 2 there, then they had an absolutely brilliant chance to bring the round back in their favor, but Tarek will only manage 1 more, and Team Liquid will pick up number 8. Not only that, they'll break the economy of CLG already.
So Adren, we wanted to see him be dynamic and actually forcing some aggression there. Goes in the connector, clever smoke, deployed, looks under it, takes down JDM again. That's another one-on-one situation. He does win. And forcing the T's to go onto the A-bomb site is just very well held from Liquid there. And like you said, breaking the economy down of CLG, going to force them onto the Tech 9 round here. No smokes purchased whatsoever, so you assume they're going to be going for another standard play. 2 players invested towards the B apartments, and Dren rattling off smokes. Shots actually going to land 2 as well, so just need to fall back now. Maybe overcommitted to that a little bit. Well
shot by Finesse with that P250 to take down Adren. One off down. I'm sure they'll recover that toward the end of the round so long as they're in positions to do so. They still have 2 men to take down in JDM and Tarek. Finesse goes just before so. And JDM's actually beat them to it. Thank you very much for the op and giving it to him. That's a bit of a problem now because he's in behind them. He's already managed 1 pick. And Tarek does have the bomb to work with. JDM's also hearing them rotate around from kitchen. It's not done just yet for Team Liquid. And what can CLG do with this? That early pick on Adren. Man, how much could this cost them? Watch out for Hiko, though. He's still on the stairwell. Back exposed. JDM's going to hit that. Down to 2 versus 2. Has a chance, but the aim punch. Nitro just able to secure it against JDM. Again, though, as mentioned, Tarek does have bombs, so he will at least get a bomb plant out of this situation. And with an AK-47 in hand and Fugly with low HP, there's a chance as always for Tarek. You can never rule him out of these equations. And he's going to set up aggressively toward that connector position where both players are coming from. He hasn't peeked it just yet since they've made themselves a home in the archway, but now he hears them coming, and he'll act accordingly. Flash goes beyond him, takes the peek. Nitro's not looking.
What?
I'm a bit confused as to how he didn't respond there.
Why wasn't he shooting? Was he trying to do some
Unless
sort
he
of
was fully
chance
blind
play?
and there was an issue for us to spec, but I don't think that's the case. We're in the server directly, so that's... I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe he was hoping he wouldn't repeat the spot and go by.
Like, that's an easy kill. If you take that one down, you have the position. You heard the CT running to his right.
Yeah, holding trigger is usually something you do when you don't have a chance. But in a one-on-one with, well, what would have been a one-on-one with bomb down? Like, why wouldn't?
This was the kill that was important. So you can see Adren. I don't think I'd head armor. That's so important, that kill right there. They boosted up, got the AWP back, and allowed them to get into the round. When you get 2 kills in that sort of situation, just fall back, force the bomb to go down, and don't get too greedy. Fortunately enough, they managed to clutch it, but it could have gone another way, but they managed to hold on here. 12-9, Liquid fighting back here.
Absolutely are.
4 smoke going into the connector as well, so the league managing to take down Cutler there. JDM does respond though.
On to Nitro. A lot of mid pressure and B plays right now from CLG. Again, I want to see more smokes out toward Liquid. I want to see their A get really tested, because that's where they've had so many issues, where they get stuck and trapped outside of the smokes and not able to prevent bomb plants. Force the retake game from Liquid. So far, we haven't even seen, aside from the last round where it was already a disadvantaged situation, we haven't really seen many bomb plants from Liquid. That's the first and 6.
There's a lot of early picks going on in this game, so CLG forcing the mid issue quite early on. Sort of chance plays through smokes and stuff, and it seems like Adren either gets the pick or JDM will find one. That's what's happening this round. So making the way up short. Fugly does spot Hayes, takes him down though, playing from the bench. Now it's going to force this.
Good flash from Elige, because Hiko's the only one in A. That slowed them just enough for Elige to get a bit more of a read. He's going to go back to window and try and flank them. But as he drops in, he's already been spotted. So now his position becomes very fragile as JDM awaits his arrival. Instead, Hiko, though, will get FNS. And he follows that up on Tarek. It's just JDM that waits. First shot successful on Fugly. Low HP as well for Elige. Second one even better on Hiko, but Elige was too close with that AK-47. And we're double digits for both sides now.
Well, that should force CLG down onto an eco hill, or at least a Tech 9 buy. They definitely can justify Tech 9 here. After losing 4 in a row, there will be a maximum loss bonus after losing this one, so $3,400 coming their way. And this is Hiko. I wanted to see how he approaches one. Great positional control, using the smoke to his advantage. Takes down 2 huge kills there, gets the bomb as well, so very strong there. Adren once again heading towards middle. You can see all 5 players, it seems like, for City heading up to the B apartments. 3 smokes here, so you're going to assume the B set piece with smokes, wall of smokes coming down, smoke in front of the kitchen, the window, try to smoke off towards the bench as well, get out, get the bomb down, and force the situation. There we go, first frag going in their favour as well, so it's going to be Nitro, probably the worst weapon for this job, AWP, and when the smoke's coming down, he's going to be absolutely isolated. You have to wait for his teammates to come in here.
Nitro.
Surprised the T's didn't come in that situation, take advantage of the man they took down, but going to be waiting.
They'll fall it back. And Lee's just going to push this mid. And they are just in front of him. If he gets caught, though, by FNS, who's standing in that door,
he will as well.
Yeah, he's going to give away a rifle. Oh, that's bad news now with 2 men down for Liquid. The advantage for CLG and 2 rifles recovered. The map is theirs. The world is their oyster.
So this is actually a really clever play. So they knew they had the man advantage. CT's had to find some sort of information out. They weren't given anything after the B smoke. So really good stuff there from Finesse, holding the flanks, taking down these. It should be around there, but Adren is ready, has got full vision, and will hit the first shot as well, taking down Tower.
Big. This is massive. This hold has to be perfect from Liquid, because as mentioned, they were 2 men down. They've only just made the situation stable, and they do have the man advantage still, despite that JDM will get Nitro. Adren's still close. He's got to hold this plant because he's out of time. He'll at least be successful in putting it down, but it's going to be 12-11. Liquid with yet another round.
Wow. How they got back into that one. 5-on-3 situation. The AWPs both invested onto the B bomb side. Seems like CLG almost threw that one away a little bit. No one really jumping across the windows or even making a difficult shot. Adren just had to click his mouse where he had it held. And there it goes. They managed to get another one on the board. And it was a really clever approach from CLG. Like I said, getting that first pick onto Fugly in the apartments and then waiting, baiting out the rotations of the smoke play, and then getting the CT to push up middle, taking him down. They really should have won that one, but Liquid fighting back here as we go into 12-11 and then to round number 24.
Is going to get tagged up through that smoke. Hayes gets a Liege back, though. CLG get the opening pick. Nitro's going to try and address this, but he's spotted by Finesse, and he's fragile and open because he's looking for Hayes. Then instead, he gets killed in the process. So now it's again a two-man advantage for CLG, and this time with guns. But Fugly, he'll fight back. He doesn't want this situation to get any worse than it possibly can, so an aggressive play to catch back FNS means we're down to 4 versus 3. But watch for the A-take, as Hayes has made himself inside that connector. Bombs in the hands of Cutler. Tarek's out toward the A-stairs with him. He goes toward Firebox. But watch for Fugly to rotate. Adren's already on the CT stairs as well, so they've read this play of Team Liquid. Execution just now hitting. Checking every possible angle. Smoke slowly going to dissipate in front of the shadow position, but the fire on all the angles and on the CT stairs makes things more awkward for them to enter, and it's working out for Liquid as a result as Cutler goes down second. Fugly's still dancing around, and as we can see, there's a crossfire on Hayes. He's not able to do it. That allows Adren to take down JDM. It came to a one-on-one in the end, but the positional advantage was firmly in Liquid's favor. Absolutely.
Once again, CLG getting those opening frags and getting themselves, that's probably the perfect play. Get 2 frags, go back, do a full execution onto the side, but all the CTs waiting there for them. They actually got the opening frag onto Eco as well, but comes down to a one-on-one, and seems like Liquid do prevail once more. 12-12, and it's actually 6 rounds in a row, you know. And now Adren going for more aggressive play here. That same smoke he used before, managed to find a kill last time. Legs, Hayes this time, and actually there is a one-on-one exchange, so does recover the round. But mid control definitely going in the favor of the terrorists this time.
Gonna wait. Cutler again. I do it. 3 letters. It's gonna get me every time we cast him, and he has them. Cutler's gonna wait in behind the boxes at middle. JDM's got bomb beside him. CLG can potentially exploit, again, a trade 4-on-4, but that does thin the defense quite a bit. Leaves Hiko alone at A, and he's playing it passively. And with Tarek still in Palace, I would suggest they are going to look that direction. Adren's realized it, so he's adjusted his position in jungle, but he gets away at the wrong time. That allows them up to the top of the stairs. If they push jungle, it would mean Adren has no re-entrance to the site. Instead, he's going to take that AWP over towards CT. Leave it to Fugly with the rifle. And one smoke on jungle will allow Fugly in. And CLG's being slow about this, quite passive and calculated. Finesse getting Nitro, though. That's going to help their chances considerably. Fugly wants to push through this smoke, but he's a little bit scared to do so. Cutler gets underneath Shadow, uses the position against Eco, but Fugly does get through eventually. 2 kills now, brings it back dead even. Watch out, the next kill could indicate everything. They're trying to spot it. Bomb recovered. Cutler's in the open, but not taken down. Adren as well, trying to get the first peek. Can't land it. The AWP it does, and it's a 1-for-1. But that now leaves it into a 1-on-1, and Fugly is the man who has to clutch it with 2 kills already. Massive damage on Cutler through the box, but nonetheless, the bomb gets planted, and Cutler comes away with the kill.
Finally, CLG win a clutch in this situation. They're so good at getting the mid control and getting the opening picks. It seems like their final execution seems to get let down. And with the rounds being so close as well, Liquid are forced onto almost a full eco here as well. Great play from Cutler to keep the dream alive. That was a huge round for them to win. And finally, after losing 6 in a row, CLG turn up and get another round on the board and take the lead. So 13-12. And like I said, the economy completely broken. The rounds have been so close. Every round has been a clutch situation, it's felt like. So
keep in mind, though, this does reset the money bonus. So even though Team Liquid are on pistols, it does give CLG the chance to capitalize on that. Even though it's a reset, they can jump ahead with it. They're not under as much threat. It's still fragile for them.
2 rounds for CLG. It's
big at this point. Yeah, we're 13-14. It's this late.
There we go then. JDM just working up Palace, seeing if he can gain any sort of control. He's got 3 CTs below him, though, all waiting. Hiko and Adren waiting towards Shadow. Actually spot JDM there as well, so they've got the information. I'm not sure whether he's aware he's been spotted. And the tension builds.
They don't want any chance of an eco. Adrenalige, they're both close as well to this Palace position, and look what that does. Tarek goes out, he can try and recover the op. Gets the shot as well with the Tech 9, and what an up-close shot on Hiko, as Hayes will now take that invitation to walk through the connector. Shot successful, and he'll turn his attention toward the CT stairs, where in fact it is just Fugly that now remains. 19 HP. He makes a case against Tarek, but I dare say it's not going to be enough. One nade at this point would do it. They don't have that. They do have a Molotov, but it will be enough with just the guns to secure round 14. Guns to come back up for Liquid in this one, but only just with the money they have.
Yeah, interesting round there. Tarek definitely did have to step on that situation. The no-scope coming in, that was so huge by him. Picking up the AWP straight away, obviously gets our first Tech 9 kill. This is the one that mattered. Had he died here, he would have given Hiko an AWP, and they could have fallen apart completely. But steps up, and they managed to get the 14th on the board. And like you said, it's pretty much a forced buy. No kits being purchased for Liquid whatsoever. And the fast play and mid-control coming in once again. The CT's actually trying to challenge you this time. This is a massive round. Allegia's taken down, but Adren neutralizes the situation.
JDM aggressive toward the side of mid. That gives Nitro the position in the smoke to take down Cutler, and then he follows that up with JDM, who switched over to the Tech 9 in an attempt to do something about it. And Tarek, although he hits Eco, he's the last alive. 1 versus 4. Bomb is close enough to him to be able to grab, but not safely so as they continue to get closer on Liquid's side. Nifty little flash, but I don't really know what the intentions were, hoping someone would peek him as he threw it. But Nitro's going to close the round, and it'll be 14-13. And the money, we talked about that reset. It will now come into effect for CLG.
So Liquid, there they knew they had no utility, no kits to play with. They needed to go aggressive, get those first kills. It was actually really nice, excellent play. Nitro especially here, undetected through that smoke, picks up the first one, taking out Cutler there, and then getting JDMO as well, just secures in the round. And that was a massive one for them to win. Could have been map point there, but they managed to hold on. And like you said, force CLG onto a force buy of their own. They have got full smoke buys here, so you're going to assume 5 smokes going down, full wall of smokes, keyed star style. And let's see what they can do here. Smokes going on, presumably just to force the post-plant situation and keep the pressure applied onto Team Liquid. Let's see as it goes.
Here's that smoke execution that I was desperate to see sooner to lock Liquid out of the site. Hiko's going to be forward of it. Fire won't reach the corner he's in. And with that wall of smokes, they're going to have to check it very quickly if they try to walk through. Nonetheless, Hazed will get the first kill on Elige. And again, Adren, that's the lockout. They're going to plant in that smoke. Hiko's found 1 on it. Cutler, he's going to turn back. There's 3 in front of him. They haven't yet spotted him, and Hiko gets 2 as a result of it, but Finesse eventually silences, and Fugly on the retake brings it back to a 3 versus 2 advantage for Liquid. And there is an AK in the hands of Finesse. He'll make use of it twice, so as he pops back out, but Adren's so close he can't react on the 3rd. If he had, it would have been the clutch of the night. Instead, it will now be 14-14.
What a expensive round that was for Liquid as well. Great execution. That we haven't seen that tactic come out from CLG whatsoever. They've been doing very standard mid controls, trying to get picks, and that play was actually really formidable. If they do that with AKs, how are they going to hold it off?
Liquid seem to have a problem in the A site time and time again. Even with Hiko, who's playing more forward than they used to have a presence in that site, it is their kryptonite on this Mirage map. For whatever reason, time and time again, it seems to really haunt them.
Here we go, mid-control coming in once again. Elige will be pushing up middle. There's going to be terrorists waiting for them as well, and they will get the opening pick. Now is the time to fall back. They do stay for a little bit longer, but safety comes back, and then Nitro picks up Finesse, makes it a double as well. Hayes drops, and this is a huge round for Liquid to win, and takes them to map point potentially.
Map nail in the coffin as well, because it's map point with no money left at all for CLG, so Nitro stepping up when he needs to. Everyone's been fairly consistent. We talked about Elige stepping up as well. His T-side was good. He's been quiet since, but never mind all of that, because all they need to do at this point is find JDM and Tarek. Hiko thinks he's got a hint as to where they are as that smoke still waits on the top of the ramp. He doesn't know, though, that Tarek has pushed across into the Tetris position, so if he walked out carelessly looking toward that connection point still, he might get caught by it.
They have to remember as well, CLG did win both pistols in this game.
Much like they did on Cash. Again, I mean, the gun rounds have been Liquid's tonight. This is a whole different team than what we saw when they first played against Liquid CLG 2 nights ago, and Elige does get Tarek out of position with a flash that went over. Tarek wasn't fully blind, but still getting the kill. It leaves just JDM, AWP in hand, 31 seconds. He's not even going to have time to save this. They're going to hunt him down. It's going to be just the pistols out for the next round. 14-15, Liquid take the lead late, and imagine they took Cash. Imagine they took this series in 3.
Oh, here comes the pause, and we're into round number 30. And like you said, the money, absolutely devastating for CLG. We saw them do that excellent A-set smoke strategy. They got in so well, got the bomb down, made it down to a one-on-one situation. You'd assume maybe do that again.
This was the other thing that I was going to mention. At halftime, those stats heavily favored JDM. I think Adren only had 5. But again, we highlighted this to be the op battle, and Adren T-side op, it's non-really existent. I think he had 1 round. When he got the CT, look at the difference. He's pulled that right back, and that's been a big deal so far.
He's taking chances. He's going up, calculated chances, it has to be said. Going through, utilizing smokes, getting up middle, off angles and where the T's don't expect him to be. And he's actually landing decent shots now. So he's looking much stronger. And they're potentially now taking their second map and taking the lead in this series as well. So this is really exciting stuff. You can see CLG trying to work out. They're taking all the time they can here as we enter round number 30. Obviously on the back foot. Tech9's in hand. Finesse has bought Tech9 armor, smoke, flashbang. I would suggest try to do that A take again. If you can get it down to a one-on-one situation with the bomb down, that's great percentages to try it and work it once more. But definitely going right down to the wire, and this is what we wanted.
Absolutely. And how huge would it be for Team Liquid to take a map advantage going in to the fourth? 2-1, have it on series point. After losing by just 2 rounds on Cash.
Here we go then, the unpause comes in. You would assume the whole team going on to Tech9's, which will ring true here. And everything 1-1 on map so far, potentially going 2-1 in favour of Liquid. It all comes down to this round, but we will go to overtime. They'll definitely want to close this one out. Look at the advantage they have. AWP on Adren. Will they be continuing the aggression? I'd assume they'll be going passive. They know what a powerful position they are in right now.
Adren's going to hold this angle. He's also on the windowsill, so he could... Oh, wait, take that back. He wasn't. I thought he landed on it. I was going to say he could quick drop if he wanted to, but why would he against the pistols and the AWP up? It's a split right now from CLG. 3 inside the B apartment. Tarek and Finesse. Bomb in the hands of Finesse are over toward the A main entrance.
It seems like the T's towards the B side of the map, trying to set up some sort of fake. Smoke's flying over. The bomb's waiting towards A here, so they're trying to do anything they can to peel CT's apart. And it's actually working really well. Look at this.
It is working. It's working beautifully. Adren's already gone to kitchen. Elige may have spotted them come back, though. That might be the difference. He spotted underpass because he was actually going to rotate for the fast flank. And now they've killed everyone on the offsite. Back to A they go, and it's down to Finesse. It's over. Liquid with very perfect execution, and Elige finding those 2 kills gave it up. Why when Smoke's going to the B side are they running back toward A? Well, only one reason. Yeah,
it was a nice idea there from CLG at the end. Obviously, worked out as best as they could have hoped initially, but Elige dropping down to underpass, getting the rotators, great awareness from him, and that seals the deal. I wouldn't have liked to see that go to overtime. I think Liquid can breathe a little sigh of relief there. Because,
and you were right. They did sell that fake because Nitro, they didn't have anyone on Cat that time. They were actually playing it with a bit of a B bias, knowing that potentially they were going to be on pistols. So they had 2 players playing back by the truck, which meant then they rotated their mid player out to the window, and Elige went the right direction because that is exactly how you're going to exploit if it's a fake. Oh, look, they're running at me, guys. Hang on here. So big kills.
Some great individual plays there from Liquid as well. A lot of clutches on the CT side going their way. They managed to string together a decent amount of rounds, 6 in a row, I think it was, and just big A holds as well. Especially they were losing the initial pick quite early on. And you touched
on as well, losing both pistols and still picking up a win.
Massive.
That's huge. Especially compared to what we saw from CLG the other night. This is a much different team, Liquid. In fact, if you take away those pistols, what do they have here? 14 rounds, potentially 6 rounds right there. You go back down to something like 8. Similar to what it was on Dust 2, similar again on Cash if you take away the pistols. So Liquid is definitely classing and matching and even stepping above CLG right now. Scoreboard on screen, FNS led the way for CLG, but again, it wasn't them that picked up the win. It was Liquid in the end.
12 first kills for Hayes. That's pretty massive. That's one of the bigger numbers we've seen throughout this tournament. Has to be said, you talked about the A defense for Liquid being a weak point famously for them, but since Hiko's arrived in that bomb site, he seems to be playing lights out there.
And it's a much different approach than they never used to have anyone who was comfortable playing very far forward in that site. And a lot of teams don't. A lot of teams will play one toward jungle, even though they already have Orient Connector. Even with the op in the window, Fnatic comes to mind. They have that 3 presence in mid.
Sure.
And that does mean the smokes in A can be more of a problem because you don't have anyone on the inside of them. You have to almost play the retake game. So having Hiko up there does make a big difference.
He's so good at using the terrorist smoke to his favor. He changes position. He can read the game as to what's presented to him in terms of what smokes go down, changes it up, and actually uses them against his opposition. So that's actually really cool to watch sometimes. 24 frags for him. But yeah, like I said, Hayes, 12 first kills. Pretty exciting stuff for him.
And this time we do have 30 rounds to dissect our heat map. See if the imagery is appealing or even symmetrical in any sense.
Well, we did know CLG did really opt to go through that connector area. You can see how many frags they got towards that area. They actually had quite a lot of contention towards B as well. But Liquid definitely working a lot of A strats themselves. No one really doing too many of the set pieces. Liquid looked at it early on. You can see they got locked out a little bit there. For both pistols, it has to be said, going towards CLG. And I can't stress enough, in a 16-14 game, if you're winning both pistols and that's a scoreline, you've got to be pretty disappointed at that. The fact they managed to get 6 rounds for free, essentially, as well.
The other thing that is indicated by the fact that CLG had higher fragging and lost the map means that every round CLG won was more convincing than that which Liquid won. Liquid's rounds were all very close. Came down to some very tight situations. MVP for the map, though, is Fugly. Not a name we mentioned very much. He's been more in that secondary role. Again, we got guys like Nitro and Elige on entry and Hiko to close it out. Adren's the op and Strat Caller. Fugly's name seems like the one that gets overlooked, but lots of skill still there. 23 kills for the guy. And 10 headshots in that.
Yeah, so, yeah, like you said, not one of the names we normally pick out as an MVP, but definitely stepping up there, and that's such a huge map for them to take as well. As we go on to D-Train next, it's going to be a really exciting one. I think this will go to all 5 maps, and that's exactly where we want to go into.
Very well could. And again, Liquid just stole CLG's map. They're the ones that pick Train, and I know they enjoy playing it actually quite a bit.
They do, and we haven't seen them. Well, I haven't seen them yet play Train with Hiko, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table. Maybe they've refreshed it a little bit and see.
Have we not seen them?
I can't recall.
I thought they could have played Methadon. I could be wrong. Okay, you could be right.
No, I think
you might be right.
Yeah, I think I am. It was Cash they played.
Because I remember talking about Hiko in the quad position for lurk potential, but I could be wrong. No, you could be right on that. Either way, it is Liquid's map choice. CLG's going to have to answer. They get the side choice as a result of that. But well, actually, no, I've got this. Henry, have we made a mistake?
Don't know, have we? What mistake?
It's not their map choice. It's CLG's. Think about this. It was 2 in a row. They stole Dust 2. I had it backwards. That's my fault. HLTV thread incoming. Sidokis knows nothing. But it is.
Sure?
Yeah, it is CLG's map choice.
Okay, so that means Liquid get to choose CT on this map.
That's right. I just thought of that because they had to start T side. That's what reminded me. So retract our last 30
Wasn't
seconds.
anything to do with me, guys.
I threw Henry under the bus. But either way, it does give the advantage to Liquid who start out CT if they want. They chose to start T on
That's even bigger news then.
Yeah,
because it's a map they didn't choose, and then they go into the favorable side on Train, a map we know they do play. So
yeah, all right. Well, let's take a break. We'll get back into it. It will be Train coming up next. Liquid's got match point, series point. We'll see if they can close it out.
Isn't really there if they don't go for that set play onto A. Let's see how they approach this one. I'd like them to have more mid control. Get the presence.
We have is from our side camera right now, which shows JDM trying to come back down catwalk eventually.
He pushes into the low ramp there. Of course, see Elise realizes he hadn't checked that position as he ran past that. In their favor. There actually has been a lot of Tech 9 plays going towards B. That seems to be finding most of the favor.
But Tarek coming into the site will find Fugly. That aggression is going to rotate, though. And that means they'll be on catwalk quickly, so very smart Molotov by Tarek.
Heavily invested into the apartments out. They didn't have to look how much time they had left. They had a minute remaining. They didn't have to force without smoke whatsoever, but the apartments and Ren rattling off smokes shots, actually going to land 2 as well. So, and this is Hiko. I wanted to see how he approaches one. Great positional control, using the smoke to his advantage. Takes down 2 down. And with the rounds being so close as well, Liquid are forced onto almost a full eco.